In a world that often equates power with control over others, wealth, or fame, Stoicism presents a radical reinterpretation. True power lies in self-mastery. When we cultivate inner discipline, emotional resilience, and moral clarity, we become formidable in a way that no external force can manipulate. As you journey down this path, there may come a moment when you notice that you're no longer easily influenced by the noise of the world. This is not arrogance, this is growth. These are 7 Stoic-aligned signs that you're becoming too powerful to be controlled. 1. You're no longer triggered by insults or praise. Epictetus taught that it's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about them. When you become immune to both flattery and criticism, you demonstrate a deep Stoic strength. You no longer need validation to feel worthy, nor do you crumble under insult. You've learned to separate your identity from the opinions of others, which makes you unconquerable in the realm of social manipulation. This calm indifference is not apathy, it's autonomy. 2. Your emotions serve you. They don't lead you. The Stoics didn't advocate for emotional suppression, but for emotional regulation. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to expect obstacles and remain composed. If you've reached a point where your emotions no longer hijack your decisions, and you can pause before reacting, you're wielding a rare kind of inner power. You are no longer a puppet to rage, anxiety, or jealousy. Instead, you use emotion as data, not as a directive. 3. You choose principles over popularity. In a world obsessed with trends, being principled is rebellious. If you find yourself making decisions based on virtue rather than convenience or popularity, you are echoing the Stoic path. Seneca believed that wisdom was choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. This ability to align your actions with your values, even when it costs you approval, is a mark of someone who cannot be controlled by the crowd. 4. You're comfortable in solitude. Associate with people who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve, Seneca wrote. But the Stoics also cherished solitude as a space for reflection and inner growth. If you've reached a point where you can be alone, not lonely, but content and purposeful, you are no longer dependent on external stimulation to feel alive. A person who is complete on their own is difficult to sway, because their strength doesn't come from others, it comes from within. 5. You respond to chaos with stillness. Life is unpredictable. Yet, there are those rare individuals who seem to find calm amid the storm. If you've found yourself becoming the person others look to during crises, not because you fix everything, but because your presence brings clarity, that is a Stoic form of power. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, ruled during wars and plagues, but wrote about maintaining a tranquil mind. When you respond to chaos with stillness, you are no longer controlled by circumstance. 6. You've redefined success on your own terms. The modern world often defines success in terms of achievement, accumulation, and attention. The Stoics, however, defined success as living in accordance with reason and virtue. If you've stopped chasing hollow goals imposed by culture or peers and begun pursuing a life of purpose and principle, you're not just powerful, you're free. And freedom from external metrics makes you nearly impossible to manipulate. 7. You practice voluntary discomfort. Perhaps one of the most counterintuitive Stoic practices is embracing discomfort by choice. Whether it's fasting, cold showers, early rising, or choosing a harder path deliberately, this training builds anti-fragility. As Epictetus advised, practice yourself for heaven's sake in little things. If you've started doing this, not for show, but to sharpen discipline, you're signaling to life that you will not be broken by adversity. You become difficult to coerce because you've already chosen the difficult. Conclusion: becoming too powerful to control isn't about dominance. It's about sovereignty, the ability to govern yourself. The Stoics' concept of power has nothing to do with bending others to your will, and everything to do with aligning your will with reason, nature, and virtue. In a world that thrives on distraction, conformity, and emotional reaction, to stand still in self-mastery is a revolutionary act. This kind of inner power cannot be handed to you. It's forged in silence, in discipline, in reflection. It grows with every insult you don't react to, every temptation you resist, and every principle you uphold. So if you're noticing these signs in yourself, It's not that you've become rebellious or detached. You've simply stepped into a level of strength that no one can own, buy, or bend. You're no longer easy to manage because you don't need managing. You've already done that for yourself. And in that, the Stoics would say, you are truly free.